You ready? I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up shit in the back of the paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrist. See my dreams unfold, nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game, and I said, yeah, I do.
There's very few times in life when you can look at someone and be like, they get it. They wake up every single day obsessed and excited for what the day holds. They love what they do, and they want to continuously get better at it. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm Ashton DiBlasi, and I've dropped out of college to pursue building a social media golf YouTube channel with 3 of my best friends, and I would like to classify myself as being one of those individuals. That has led us from being the laughingstock of our high school senior year to getting invited to quite possibly one of the biggest golf tournaments you could ever imagine getting invited to. The Good Midwest Open, $100,000 on the line, hundreds of thousands of eyeballs are going to watch it. To think that we went from nothing to starting to become something, it's a feeling that you can't really describe. I want to make sure things are clear here. We're probably going to be the smallest channel there, and we're probably going to be the first tee time. Complete underdogs. I'm currently headed to the golf course. It's currently 2 p.m. And the goal is to make sure that when I go to that tournament, I know that I have left everything I possibly can on the table. So whether we place first or last, doesn't matter. I know that in preparation for the tournament, I grinded my butt off. I did as much as I possibly could to prepare for what's to come, even though I have no idea what it's going to be like on the first tee, with thousands of people watching you in person, hundreds of thousands of people watching you online. It's going to be a treat, and you guys are here for the ride, so let's head to the course. All right, made it out to Apple. It's currently 2 something. My objective for today is to freaking get better at golf. Why, you might ask? We're chasing down the greats. Now you might be asking yourself, what do you mean you're chasing down the greats? Like, what does that even? If you don't know, I run another YouTube golf channel called J&A Golf. And a lot of these big YouTube golf channels, they play with the top players in the world. Sergio Garcia, you know, Luke Kwan, for example, he's played professionally for years. George and Wesley, they're both freaking PGA Tour players. They've both played in multiple. Wesley freaking won on tour. So when I say greats, I'm talking about the best people in our niche, the golf niche, YouTube niche. So I was telling John, I was like, dude, you know, like when J&A gets to the point where people want to collab with us, we collab with others, our golf game needs to be at a point where we can compete with Sergio Garcia, which is, it's crazy that I'm even saying that. Wesley, George, Grant, all those people. So I'm gonna be here for a few hours hitting balls, chipping, pitching, just making sure my game is foundationally solid for when we go into the good event. I have a sense of what's going on. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going for the blue flag out there. I've got 8-iron in my hand, and now what I'm working on here is, if you come to the range, you better be working on something number 1. And if you're not, then you're completely wasting your time. So right now I'm working on shot shaping, so hitting high draws, low draws, straight shots, high straight shots, cuts, low cuts. And I know if I can pull those shots off, all of them, that my swing is in a good spot. So right now, let's see. Here's a high draw right at the blue flag. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, so really the main thing I think about when I'm trying to control the trajectory, ball placement, if I want to keep it lower, I'll place it a little bit further back in the stance, higher, a little higher in the stance. But the biggest thing is finishing high for a high shot, finishing low for a low shot, at least feeling it. And if I feel it, then 99% of the time it actually happens. So I'm gonna sit here and finish this bag off working on shot shapes and then making sure I'm staying connected coming in through the shot. Let's go low draw, low pinch draw here. It didn't really draw, but it was really good.
and Drizzy, this shit like the Super Bowl. Man, this shit done it big as the what? Big as the what? Big as the what?
Big as the Super Bowl, but the difference is it's just two guys playing shit that they did in the studio. Niggas usually send their verses back to me and they be terrible, just like a 2-year-old. I love a dinner with some fine women when they start debating about who the GOAT. I'm like, go ahead, say it then. Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT?
Okay, here we go. So I made it to the putting green. I'm gonna putt here, warm up, literally just try and warm up my hands, my feels, get my stroke warmed up. That's the entire goal. I might putt to the fringe, so just putting to the fringe, make sure my speed control is good. And then I have this tool that I'll do after I'm warmed up. It's called Pell's Golf. I don't know, I see a lot of PGA Tour guys, college guys using it. And essentially you put 2 marbles here. And the goal is just to start the ball on line. So I'll do that. And then after that, I'll show you guys my putting regimen that I'll do for probably 2 or 3 hours. I'm gonna be here for a while. So essentially I'll just drop 3 balls down, and where the green meets the fringe is where I'm trying to end this putt, just to ensure my speed control is good. And now this putt, I chose a bad putt because the camera angle is set up, but that's, I mean, pretty much where I'm trying to keep it. See, right there. And that was too hard because it landed on the fringe. I'll be here for probably 2 or 3 hours. I'm gonna warm up the stroke, use the Pell's, and then I'll show you guys what I'm doing after that, which is the actual practice, pressure-oriented regimen. Well, the goal is to get the ball in the hole, obviously, so wow, okay, the stroke does feel better. So how I have this drill set up, I've got 4 tees at 4 feet, 4 tees at 6 feet, and then 4 tees at 8 feet. The 4 and 6 footers are all par putts, and then the 8 footers are birdie putts. I have to make at least 2 of the 8 footers and shoot 2 under in order to complete this drill. So if I miss one of the 4 footers or 6 footers, that's a bogey. Therefore, I have to make 3 of the 8. You guys get the gist. I talked about this in a previous video where I actually didn't complete it. So let's see if I can complete it today after working on the stroke. Mother trucker. That means I need to make 3 of the 8 footers in order to complete the drill. And if I do it on the first run, that's great. Perfect. What a terrible putt. All right, now I have to make all 4 of the 8 footers. Okay, now I have to make all 4 of the 8 footers in order to complete the drill. Yeah, no, who wanted to complete the drill in the first run? Yeah, no, not me. I wanted to be here for a while. All right, gotta restart.
Started out in Riverdale, moms flew me from the bay. When I was young, used to hate it. Grew up, then I thanked it. Far away from my pops, thinking about
Must make it. I complete the drill for the first time ever. My only second time doing it, but. I just finished up stretching out my stroke, and what that means, like, I literally was putting from one side of the green to the other, just because after you do a lot of short drills where you're just sitting there making 3 footers, or 6 footers, 8 footers, you need to stretch out your stroke to make sure you can keep the feel when you're hitting a 50 footer, for example. But now I have 2 tees set up here. This one is left to right hard, and this one is right to left hard. And I'm mainly talking to John here because I want him to understand this. So when we talk feel putts, you have multiple lines that you can give this putt depending on your pace. So if I take a more aggressive line because I have a faster pace, I don't have to play it out as much. And if I want to do the opposite and want to play it out a lot more, I can die it in the hole. So let's see if I can do it here. That didn't really die in the hole, but it wasn't aggressive. A more aggressive putt would look something like this. Let's see if I can make this. Because really, you don't want to hit this putt aggressively, but. So I didn't give as much of a line, and I hit it and it went into the back of the cup with a lot more pace. Now what I'd work on here is picking different lines and different speeds to see the putt go in. So then I start developing feels for, okay, if I want to die this putt in, I'm going to take a more, wide, I think wide would be the word. I'm going to take a wider line, more aggressive line, etc. After this, I'm going to set up tees where I'm going to see the ball go in on the right side and the left side. So then I know that I can control, okay, if I want to see the ball go in here, I can hit that putt. If I want to see the ball go in here, I can hit that putt. And when you can start to develop feels to make both of those putts, aggressive, non-aggressive putts, you're gonna really start to dial in and gain a lot of confidence on the greens. That was atrocious. I'm gonna die this one in there. Something like that. See how far I can get it and die it in. Let's see. Oh! Maybe go a little wider. No, I pushed it a hair. No sand in here. I think we can all agree, Wesley, George, Grant, like they're Quan, I would add there, and Brad. They're the best in the space by far, right? And now if you have no idea what I'm talking about the golf YouTube like niche. And the point of me saying that is because obviously I have J&A Golf. J&A Golf being my main focus right now, my main channel. And we're nowhere near the point where we can collab with those guys. But like, it's crazy because I can like vividly see myself golfing with them, hanging with them, and competing against them. And like when that point does come, playing against Wesley and George at Salina, when we're playing against Grant at wherever, it's like, I know that I want to freaking win. My game needs to be in a point where I can come out and freaking win. Why, you might ask? Well, like 4 years ago, my game was at its peak. Fast forward 2 years, speed training, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't hit a wedge shot. Couldn't do that. What I just did, couldn't do that. Blade, my entire high school season. So now the fact that, and I truly believe it was God's work. Like I truly believe God knew that like the college route and everything just wasn't for me. So you know what, kid? I'm gonna ruin the chances of you going and playing D1. Like Wake Forest, to where Arnold Palmer went to school. One of the most prestigious golf schools you could ever get invited to. Emailed me, their head coach, asking me how my summer's been and trying to recruit me. That following season was not good, and I truly believe it was God's plan. Like, no kid, I've got something different for you. So to think that I went from having no shot at all with college golf and, oh God, terrible. Grandfather telling me I'm crazy, blah, 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 wanting me to try and become a professional. To think that now I have a chance to compete for $100,000, biggest tournament in the social media space, while also knowing that beyond that, if I do play well, like could drastically change the trajectory and career of my life, is like, I have to compete, I have to win, I have to get good at freaking golf. And it starts here, literally just digging it out of the dirt. There's not a soul out here but me. Digging it out of the damn dirt. Coming out here to grind?
I'm wearing athletic shorts.
Oh my, what are you doing? You can't even get out. I have to blur it. I was just telling them how obsessed we need to be and how hard we need to grind in order to be able to compete with the best. when we have the chance.
You have to be playing every single freaking day.
When we have the chance to go and play against Sergio Garcia, Luquan, blah blah blah, like we need to be.
Personally, can't get better unless I'm playing every day. I was just working on handstands.
Handstands? You're a golfer.
Stability in the traps.
Huh. As long as me and, I don't know if you can see him, Johnny, focus on having fun, making great YouTube videos, and playing good golf, focusing on the fundamentals, it will come. We will be competing against Grant. We will be competing against Sergio, Luke, blah, 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 blah. For some reason, Sergio is just on the top of my mind after seeing him and like Luquan collab. You know, the best part about all of this is you guys are here early. See the documentation of it, see the behind the scenes, what it takes, and hopefully you'll see a video in the near future with me and, you know, all those big guys. And you'll know that it started literally right here, digging it out of the dirt every single day, piece by piece. And with the end goal this year of my handicap being a +3, I think I'm probably like a 1 right now or near scratch. I know Jin has me at scratch, but I don't know how much I trust that right now. Hey, we'll see what happens at Good Good. If Good Good goes well and we win that, everything could change. Now it's just head down day by day, incremental progress.